All right, today we are taking a look at a piece of tech that might just completely flip the script on how we fly and film from the sky. It's called the AntiGravity A1. And yeah, that's a bold name for a bold promise.
So, let me just ask anyone who's ever had their hands on a drone controller. You know that stress, right? That feeling of trying to fly super smooth while also nailing the framing all at the same time. What if all of that pressure just vanished?
Well, a new company called AntiGravity, which, get this, was incubated by the 360 camera gurus at Insta360, they think they've cracked the code. They've built the A1 drone around one simple, powerful idea, making it basically impossible for you to fail.
Now, to really get why the A1 is such a big deal, we gotta first talk about the one fundamental headache that every single traditional drone pilot has to deal with.
Just think about it for a sec. With your standard drone, the way you fly is the way you film. The camera points where the drone goes. So if you zip past your subject and the angle is just a little bit off, well, too bad. You gotta circle back, try the whole thing again, burn through that precious battery, and maybe miss the magic moment for good. The pressure to get it perfect, right there in the air, is always on.
Okay, so how does the A1 fix this? Well, it starts by totally rewiring the experience of flying. We're talking about flying by feel, not just by sight. The A1 has this feature they call FreeMotion mode, and honestly, it's a real game changer. It completely decouples your head from the drone's body, so you can be flying in a straight line, but turn your actual head to look to your left, your right, straight up, or even directly behind you, and the drone just keeps on its path.
And that right there is the key difference. Traditional drone, your view is welded to your flight path. AntiGravity A1, your view and the flight path are totally separate. Now, this isn't like other head tracking systems where turning your head also banks the drone. Nope, here your head only controls your point of view, which gives you this absolutely wild sense of freedom.
So how in the world does that work? Well, the A1 has two 360-degree lenses, one on the top, one on the bottom. The software then stitches the video from both cameras together, and in doing so, it just completely deletes the drone itself from the picture. It becomes invisible, exactly like an Insta360 camera makes a selfie stick just disappear. What you're left with is this seamless, totally unobstructed, almost godlike view of the world.
And that invisible drone concept? Well, that leads us straight to the A1's second major innovation. It's not just about how you fly, it's about what you capture. It completely changes the creative process.
Here's the most important part. Because the drone is recording a full 8K 360-degree sphere of video the entire time, you can just focus on the fun part, flying and exploring. You don't have to think about framing at all. Later, you hop into the app and you get to be the director. You can go back into that 360 footage and pick your angles, create cool camera moves, and frame your perfect shots, all after the flight is over. This just blows the doors open creatively. From one single flight, you can create these insane FPV-style barrel rolls or dramatic dolly zooms, and you don't need to be an expert pilot to do it. You can pull way out into those trippy tiny planet effects, flip the horizon, or do these seamless sky transitions. And then you can export that same clip for YouTube in 16:9, and then again for Instagram in 9:16. The flight is just the beginning.
Okay, so this all sounds incredible in theory, but what about the drone itself? You know, the actual hardware. Let's pop the hood and see what's making all this magic happen.
First thing, and for any drone pilot, this is a huge deal. It's a sub-250-gram drone. That number is everything. In most places, that means you get to skip all the annoying registration and stricter rules. It makes the A1 super easy to travel with and way less of a headache to fly legally right out of the box.
And the vision goggles are just packed with smart ideas. You've got these beautiful micro OLED screens inside, plus built-in diopters so you don't have to fuss with glasses. There's a picture-in-picture mode using a camera on the front so you can see the real world without taking them off. And maybe the coolest feature of all, there's a screen on the front of the goggles showing everyone else exactly what you're seeing. No more people huddling over your shoulder to see the phone screen.
Now, it's worth remembering this is still a pre-production unit, so not everything's perfect yet. For a bit of balance, here's a quote from the reviewer, The Drone Creative. They pointed out that the goggle battery isn't built into the head strap. Instead, it hangs from a cable around your neck, which they found a little cumbersome. AntiGravity has heard this feedback, so it'll be interesting to see if that design changes.
To fly the A1, you use this intuitive, grip-style motion controller. It feels really natural. You basically just point where you want to go. It's got all the safety features you'd expect, like a return-to-home function, but then it has something I've never seen before, a payload detection system. If it senses any extra weight on the drone, it just won't take off. It's a really clever feature designed specifically to prevent misuse.
All right, and for our last section, we're going to talk about something really interesting, how anti-gravity is actually bringing this thing to the public. Because they don't just want to sell you a drone, they want you to help build it. So instead of a typical launch, they're kicking things off with what they're calling a co-creation program. They're actually inviting people to apply to get their hands on a pre-production unit to test out. The whole point is to get real feedback from the community to help them polish and perfect the drone before the final version hits store shelves.
And to prove they're not kidding around, they are putting their money where their mouth is. AntiGravity has set up a $20,000 prize pool. That money is going to be shared among the people in the program who give the best, most valuable feedback and ideas for improvement. It's a pretty cool, transparent way to build a product with the people who are most passionate about it right from the start.
So when you look at the AntiGravity A1, you're really looking at two revolutions happening at once. It frees the pilot from having to be a cinematographer, turning flying into this pure, joyful experience. And it frees the creator from the limits of a single shot, opening up a world of storytelling possibilities. The big question is, which of those two things will be its real legacy? We'll have to wait and see. That's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in.